Assalamu alaikum. Sulaiman Rahim here. Welcome. Critical analytics. As I've mentioned in the past, here at Critical Analytics, we do a critical analysis of different topics, scripture, mathematics, from a logical, mathematical, rational basis. No belief matrix here, no conjecture. So today I have a couple of subjects I want to talk about. One's about the Injil key, clarify a great misconception that's out there about it. And another one, it's about all the chaos and crisis going on in America today. Does anyone understand what's going on? Let's see. Let's see something here. Does anyone understand what's going on? There's much happening. But you hear all these talking heads, do they really understand what's going on? You hear a lot of, oh, well, it's this, it's that, it's this, it's that. But do they know? Do they really know? See? If you play chess, you must know the rules of the game to understand what's going on. But they don't understand this creation. They don't understand the rules of the game, so they're saying this, they're saying that. They have no idea what's going on. So we're going to talk about some of these things. Because we see a lot of denial. Oh, a lot of denial. They want to deny their history. And it's coming back at them to haunt them. The chickens are coming home to roost. It's coming back in a very dramatic, very intense way. See, God is not mocked. What does that mean? That means you reap what you sow. There's consequence. And they're thinking that they get away with all they've done. And that gets back to perception. Because their perception is they've done everything right. We talked about that in the two Bibles, the twin Bibles. The will within a will. Okay. So from the sealed Bible point of view, they're okay. They haven't done anything wrong. It's very important, brothers and sisters. I'm not going to spend time talking too much about that. But it's very important you understand it. Because why would they seal the Bible? It was just, you can read it literally. Because you hear most of these churches say, oh, you just read the Bible literally. If you read it literally, you understand what's going on in the world today. The put down of women, right? The enslavement of blacks, right? The labeling the people in the Middle East as terrorists. The eradication of the Native Americans. All of that is from the perspective of the sealed Bible, and it's totally, I mean, that's from God. So what's the consequence? Consequence can only be good. If you do good, the consequence must be good. And that's what sealed Bible is telling them. That was the guidance given to Adam. We need to understand these things. That was the guidance given to Adam, the sealed Bible. And under that guidance, all these things you see is taking place under the color of the sealed Bible. And according to that, these people are blameless. They're not doing anything wrong. Eradicating the savage Indians, they was in the way of God giving his inheritance to his people. See, enslaving the blacks, that wasn't a problem because they was cursed black and and destined, cursed to be slaves. So nothing wrong with that. You see, and women, right? Oppression of women, nothing wrong with that because they brought sin in the world. They wouldn't listen to God. They was obedient. They didn't want to cause the problem. See? And then designating the Arabs and the Sunnis and other people in the Middle East as terrorists because they stand in the way of so-called Israel, who is supposed to be God's chosen people to return the seed of Abraham. Well, they're standing in the way of their inheritance. So they got to go too. So that's the world we're living in. And that's the world the sealed Bible condones. That's the one that promotes. That's the one that it underscores. See? So when you read it, that's what you're reading. But what they don't understand that was only for a period of time, a short period. That's the exception that would take place for about 500 years in chapter 20. And then the book will be unsealed and will blow away that idea. But they don't understand that part. That's why they're getting ready to run into a brick wall at 1,000 miles per hour, at speed of light, 186,000 miles per second. They're getting ready to run a solid brick wall. Be devastating, destructive. Because that is not the right reality. That's just a temporary reality. They gave Adam the power to rule while we were in a weakened state called energy deprivation. Okay, brothers and sisters, let's move on. And we're going to go into a little more detail here. Just let me put a few things together here. Okay, brothers and sisters, it's let me go change here. Okay, this is called Injil 2.0 because there's going to be Injil 2.1. That's a supplement to this. It's going to go into a little more detail, at least as far as the book is concerned, that we're going to talk about the Injil. So, and again, who will win the war of Armageddon? Elijah Muhammad taught who will survive it. See? Well, that was appropriate at the time, but now we're in it. So it's a zero-sum game. Either you win or you lose. And we will win. Two visions. That mechanical, electronic vision on the left, and the biological vision, the resurrection of the resurrection of it, right, and the advance of it. See, because it's being compromised now by the one on the left, with its mechanics, electronics is compromised, because that's the vision they move towards. They give all these crazy movies, Terminator and so forth, right? All these cyborgs. Cyborg is a mechanical body with a biological brain, the Borg and the Star Trek and all that kind of stuff. They're preparing you for it because they're moving towards it. They're time travelers too. And that's the time they're trying to create. They're creating time. Time is the process of turning formless energy into form, giving formless energy form. That's what time is. And we're also creating time. That's why I call it a race. Wasn't such a thing as a race before 6,000 years ago because it was only one. I mean, it was only one people, so it wasn't a race. Once Jakub brought about his creation, then it was a race for two totally different, contrary visions. Who will win the war of Armageddon? Okay, we're going to start with this. This is current events. Let me move myself out of the way here. Put that right here. I'll do it that way. Current events. Do you understand current events? You understand what's going on? You see all this so-called crime. America is a criminal enterprise. It was criminal from the day they stepped foot, even before that, but criminal. Excuse me. It was criminal from the day they stepped foot on this continent. Genocide, murder, appropriation of people's land, the theft of people's land. They thought it was okay because that operated from the sealed Bible. See? But it's a criminal enterprise. See? They're bringing us over here, slaving us, raping us, and relentless, unceasingly raping our women for hundreds of years. The result of producing a hybrid people called demons who are their seed but look like us. See? The torture and systematic murder of us, the systematic dehumanization of us. See? And on and on and on. It's criminal enterprise. It's crime in the streets. Well, it was crime going on in America for 40 years against us. So that don't count? That was 24/7, 365. Much worse than anything you have now. Oh, you got crimes. Yeah, America's been totally inundated with crime since they stepped on this continent. Anyway, so I've been talking about energy deprivation that we've been going through for the last 6,000 years. The last 50,000 years actually, but it's been very acute the last 6,000 years and very, very, very intense the last 464 years. Lack of energy to maintain. It takes energy, understand that principle, it takes energy to do anything, it takes energy to see, to energy to talk, energy to think. Without energy, nothing happens. So we're constantly converting energy into form. When you're seeing, you're reading, you're talking, you're giving form to energy. Your future doesn't exist now. You're creating it now. Are you creating it hereafter? Or where it says, Jesus said, there's a fool that build his house on sinking sand. If that's you building on this world's life that you're doing, I tell you that, because there's no porch for you in the hereafter. They tell, oh no, we got to build America. Isn't that what Farrakhan telling you? Yeah, he's telling the place going to be destroyed. I'm not going to waste time arguing. I'm not going to waste time arguing with any of y'all, because he's easy to see. He's so transparent, right? Because if you believe in Elijah Muhammad in even 10%, you would not be deceived by Louis Farrakhan, Louis Eugene Grounds, and why backwards, so-called the son of perdition, the dishonorable, disemboweled Louis Farrakhan. You will not be deceived by him. Great. First of all, the whole purpose of being in the Nation of Islam was to prepare to go to the hereafter, prepare to go to the promised land. That's the whole purpose. That's the whole purpose of Master coming here. Master Muhammad coming here is the whole purpose is to get us back to the promised land. And Elijah Muhammad spent 40-some years telling us about it and preparing us for it. And now Farrakhan ain't going anywhere. So he's denouncing everything. He's denouncing Master Muhammad. He's denouncing Elijah Muhammad. He called both of them liars. So he said, you stay here. So that means we helping Master build his vision. Because he likes it here. He says it. Yeah, because he's doing good here. He's living off of you. The parasite's not going to jump off the elephant by itself. He will keep the elephant, hang on to him real tight. Keep his fangs stuck right in there deep. It's like a mosquito. Stick his, it's whatever it is, this bee, sting, whatever, right deep into you. Hold on, get all the blood he can. But anyway, so now we're coming out of it. That's what it's talking about right here. And it shall come to pass in that day that his burden shall depart from off thy shoulder, and his yoke from off thy neck, and the yoke shall be destroyed by reason of fatness. That means the master's burden is going to be taken from us, His yoke, we're going to be free of it. We take it. We're not free of him. We're still here with him. Oh, you're free. You can do what you want to do. No, you're not. You're free to obey him. You're free to obey his laws. You're free, or he put your ass in prison. See, the demons telling you free. They're lying to you. And if you believe that, then you don't, either you deem yourself or you tell an idiot, because we're not free here. We're still under their, oh, well, you free. See, they just tell you that, so you think, oh, man, how are you free? Are you free as a nation to free what you want to do? Are you a sovereign nation to do, to accept your own customs, your own systems of institutions and everything? No, you're not. You do it the way they tell you to do it, or you throw your ass in prison or just kill you. So it's going to be broken by reason of fatness. What are they trying to tell you there? Because of energy, the energy deprivation is over. And so now we increase in energy. It began in 1860s. That was the first positive wave of energy we got back. It's momentous in the heavens and earth, but it comes to you all of a sudden. The Quran teaches that. See? So every 50 years we get it, and we can go to the historical, timeline and prove it. But I'm not going to do that here. But so we're at the 50-year period where we're receiving enough. We're in the process of receiving one right now. So everybody's being energized. So now we first broke our chains, but we're still in the plantation. Next broke our mental, but we're still in the plantation. Next broke our social, we're still in the plantation. But now we're going to break free of the plantation. We're going to break totally free of master. That's what it says. We're totally free of him. Free of him. See, so his burden, his yoke, because he still has a yoke on us. That's be broken. And that's what you're witnessing out in the streets right now. A lot of that crime is demons, but a lot of it is our people too. And that's the problem that we have, because they've been energized, and when they're energized, it's hard to control them. That's what it's telling here. If they're energized, it's hard to control them. But if they take and they out of control within themselves, then you got a blind elephant running around. You got a blind elephant. You got blind elephants running around. That's nothing but trouble. See, so people, they don't know what to do with it. Or they know they don't want to listen to master anymore. See? And he can't control them, because it takes energy to control them. How was they controlling us? Through the police force, through the military. I try to explain all that to you, how that's set up. See, that's the purpose of it, to maintain this structure. And this structure is to keep us down, because they're never going to let us, they don't want us to take over the structure. So therefore, what are they doing? They're aborting your children. That's the most effective weapon that you would use in democracy, to keep the minority down, because you only control them if they're the minority. If they become a majority, they control you. So the most effective, profound weapon is to keep their population down, because if their population grows, the more their population grows, the more power they have. So therefore, they're aborting your children, 22 million. You can't understand that? It's the democratic parties that's promoting that. Aborting your children, 22 million already and counting. And some of you is dumb as hell, you're on the way to vote, but you stop off at Planned Parenthood and abort a vote. Abort one. How does that make any damn sense? When the founder tell you clearly, what's the purpose this whole place is for. The founder of Planned Parenthood tells you clearly the whole thing is to eradicate you. And you don't believe her? They still celebrate her. She founded it for that particular reason. So that's what's going on here. And then they bring in people across the border that don't even believe in abortion, right? And they're neutralizing your vote. So they gradually squeezing you until you have no effect at all, and then just wipe your ass out, and you just sit here and go right along with it. Think you know what you're talking about, think you know what you're doing, you have no idea what you're doing, and the reason why these demons, they're all demons. And that's the whole purpose, is to keep you confused and to send you down the wrong path, because you're listening to them, because they look like you, walk like you, and can talk like you. So you listen to them. See? Oh, if you be good like us, right? You can be like us. You can live in Master's house too. You can wear nice clothes. You can drive Master around in a carriage, right? And you can eat better food, right? And Master may even give you hams on Christmas, and you don't have to 24/7, 24/7, 365. You only have to make 8-9 hours a day, and you can tell sleep in the bed. See, all you gotta do is be good to Master. Work real hard. And you believe that, but those are Master's children. He ain't gonna never extend that to you. Those people you see on TV, they are Master's children, they're demons. They get there because they love Master. If you get up and you say anything against the Master, they shut your ass out. Like that sister, right? Oh man, I'm not gonna sleep. I'm turning back on the flag. Oh, she done diss her, coping it. See, anybody, you don't hear anybody on the TV or any place say anything negative about Master, anything negative about America, they shut them down fast. All those people there, they're Master's children. And the whole objective is to make you think that you can be there. That's all you have to do is listen to Master, be good. You never, no matter what you do, you're never going to be there. Because Master's not going to let you in there. He only let his children in there. His black-faced children. He's never going to let you in. But you think you be out there working your ass off in that field. But you know, oh man, Master, I work really hard. I can work in the house one day too. He will never let you work it out. But that's what you think. I'll be like Oprah. I'll be like Denzel. Okay. They got people out there much smarter than her, much better actors than Denzel, but they ain't gonna never get there because they ain't drinking the Kool-Aid. They ain't Master's children. Go out there and look on my page and see what my page. I go out there every day and just look. Just take a little browse. And so far, out of all the so-called black actors and celebrities I've checked on, at least 75% of it, at minimum, are married white or dating white. And they got children. And that's the whole purpose. Because they're upset because they feel like they got a disadvantage because they got black skin. They don't want that. Remember Michael Jackson? They didn't want that. So now got to find all kinds of ways because what he do? He had children, right? They claim he had children, right? Yeah, he had clue by some white women. And so the children whiter. And eventually, right, their children be white. Soon their children be white again. That's what they want to do. They don't want to be black and they don't like you. They don't want you. But they have to, but they can't insult you directly. Because what they live off of. Master told them after we got off the field, you can't live off of us, but you can live off of them. Them slave niggas out, you can live off of them, but you ain't living off of us. And now they went at it. Politicians, entertainers, right, celebrities, right, reverends, preachers. White folks ain't going to their churches. They living off of you. Because Master, you ain't going to live off of us. Y'all might be our children, but you ain't going to live off of us. You live off of them. That's what they've been doing. See, but now we're being energized. The first stage was the breaking of physical change, next to mental, and then so now this is the fourth stage. This stage that breaks off all chains, and now you see all this stuff going out, the so-called crime and everything. I said America's a criminal enterprise. But all this stuff, because they're breaking free. And now it means America has to use more energy. Remember, it takes energy for everything to hold them down. They're saying defund the police because he's got the economy is getting bad, right? And they'll have enough money. But now they say, oh, I got to spend billions of dollars, man. I had these police. I can't afford to spend that kind of money on police now. See, that's part of what's behind defund the police. They didn't want to tell you, they said because of blackness and all that kind of stuff. Partly because they can't afford them anymore. America's in debt, very much in debt. They're technically bankrupt. So they have to, all their systems under pressure, under extreme stress. Everything's being stress tested, all the organizations, all the institutions, everything. And they're failing in every part. That means the pressure, only pressure can bring that kind of universal, comprehensive pressure to stress, right, to bear. Because it's comprehensive. Every aspect of America, institutions, is under extreme stress. And it's getting worse daily, and it's crumbling under it. It's just a matter of time before it reaches the boiling point, 212 degrees. The boiling, that's pressure. And that's what's happening. See? So you got the resistance, the offensive, and the defensive. You see, America's very defensive. Oh, well, we CRT, critical race, oh, that ain't us, right? The wokeness, look at the wokeness. And what's the other one they got? Not political correctness. I can't think of the name of it right now, right? See, wokeness or whatever, right? I can't think of the name of it. But they got all this stuff going on. You see? Oh, cancel culture. They got all these names for it. But they focus on it 24/7. That means it's bothering them. See, that means they're in a defense mode. Because we're on the offensive, because now we're enemies to them. Because they brought us over here, but we have our own culture, we have our own nature. And it's contrary to theirs. And as we get more energy, it comes forward. That means you got a growing conflict, right? A very fundamental, very powerful, very dramatic conflict in the works, in the making. Two cultures, I wouldn't even call it they have a culture, but if we give them that, you got culture clash, nature clash, clash of wills. Who will survive the war of Armageddon? Clash of visions. Our vision total diametrically opposed. See? We want to restore and enhance our biological creation. They want to dismantle our biological creation and come in with their mechanical, electronic creation, which they're working hard to achieve. See? But it says, we're focusing, and as we grow, they have to use more and more energy to stop us. That means to take energy from other places. See? They don't have infinite, they have a certain amount of energy, and so if they have to use more energy to stop us, that means they'll lose energy from other places. See? Where are they losing it from? Military, economics. Because they have to use some energy to hold us down. Energy deprivation, we're coming out of it. Okay? So break free and go home. Farrakhan, the only truth he ever told probably is that he ain't going nowhere with James, because we're not taking him with us. Read Mark. He said, no, you can't go with us. You gotta stay here. In other words, they begged to stay here. I want to stay here. We'll stay out swine daddies. So understand that, brothers and sisters. Understand that clearly. See, we're being energized, because that's what you're seeing. See, because energized, this nation becomes hard and hard to control. Because it starts exerting itself, start tuning back to its nature. Because they took our nature from us and gave us a false nature. We didn't even know who we were. If Master Muhammad hadn't showed up, we would have been totally lost by now. A lot of us still are. They took everything away from us. We didn't know who we were. We didn't know how to be happy. Because we had to know who you are. So the only thing we had as a model of how to act and conduct ourselves was them. And everything they showed was against us. So we had virtually working against ourselves, technically working against ourselves, trying to be like them. So we see sisters get hypertension and diabetes and everything else. What? Trying to keep up with Master. Because that's not their nature. But they don't know what their nature is. They have no idea what their nature is. Have no idea. Because they took all from them and they have no idea. Know how to act. It's like you take a lion, you take a cat, for instance, and you raise more dogs, you never see another cat, right? You're going to start trying to act like a dog. You don't know how to act. They said they take a lion and put him in captivity long enough, they can't put him back in the wild. Because he would die. Because we wouldn't know what to do. That's what's happening here. See? So our brothers and sisters out there, they're energized, but it's like you put gas in the car and you step on the pedal, on the gas, right? You fill up some of the gas, but you have no steering wheel. You know how that's going to end up? You flooring the gas, but you have no steering wheel. And that's what's happening to our people out here. That's why we got to be there. We got to furnish a steering wheel to them. That's what we're doing. We're giving the Injil. We're giving the 5 pillars of Islam. See? We explain all this to them, the mathematics, pressure and everything. Give them steering wheels. They need a good steering wheel. Can't have a little cheap one. You understand, brothers and sisters? We're coming out of energy deprivation, and our enemies can no longer hold us down anymore. We're asserting ourselves. So the more we assert ourselves, the more energy they need to keep us down. So eventually, right, either they totally lose all interest or ability to do that, or a conflict is coming. A major conflict. That's what's going on in the world today. They do all this stuff. Oh, critical. Oh, man, they spend all the time on critical rate because that's their shit. They don't want to smell on shit anymore. They'll say, oh, well, you shouldn't tell that stuff. Well, you did the history. That's your history. It's talking history. No, you didn't want divisive. You hadn't done that, you would have a question about divisiveness. This is all on you. And now you don't want to hear it. See? But now, our captivity is over. See, it's momentous in the heaven and earth, but coming above a second. All that energy has been absorbed by the earth. The earth has converted in a form we can use. And now you're starting to feel people starting to feel energized. Starting to feel it. See? That means it's going to take them more energy to hold us down. So that's what you're seeing. All this crime, all this kind of stuff, rioting, all that kind of stuff. That's how people energize, right? Energize blind lions. Energize blind elephants. So we're going to solve that problem. We're going to have to solve that blindness so that energy can be used in good, used for good purposes. Used to bring the promised land into existence. So we're going to talk briefly about the Injil book. Okay, let's make sure I don't get in my way here. Now the Injil book. See, I think I'm gonna do a little more in this over a period of time. But they be talking about revelations. They have no idea what it means. If they haven't broke the seals, when they start talking about revelation, if they have not broke the seals, tell them to get lost. Because they have no idea what it means. If they knew what it means without breaking the seals, then what the hell was the Bible sealed down for? They have no idea. See? So they think, oh well, the Lamb, he got the book from God. See, nobody can break the book down but him. But yet still God wrote the book, but God don't understand the book that he wrote. That doesn't make any sense. Let's read this right quickly. I saw upon the right of the sitting upon the throne, a little book, having, it says, having been written from inwardly and from behind, have been sealed down to 7 seals. See? And then I'm going to go down a little further, bypass some of this, you can read on your own. And I saw in the midst of the throne of the 4 living and middle older persons, the elders, Lamb having stood having been slaughtered, having horns 7, eyes 7, which are the 7 spirits of the God, have been sent off in all the earth. Okay, so we're going to see if we understand what some of that means. So we're going to talk, folks, mainly going to focus on this book, the nature of it, where it comes from. That's the Injil, called Injil's Gospel in Arabic, right? And it's also the Book of Revelations. And it's the key to the rest of the Bible. Okay. Now, those of you, let me make a move here. I don't want to be in my way here. Okay. Those of you familiar with the angel, I'm not going to go into all the details about how this gets set up here, but this is construct here. Now, over here you see the spirit and the eyes. That's talking about the original nation. There's 7 spirits and 7 eyes. Right? That's what they are. Okay? Now, it said there was this book. Now, the Lamb represents that son there. He's the one who got the 7 spirits, 7 eyes. And then said there was a book that was in the right, this say right hand said the right. See? So that's a little hint right there, because it could be right hand, right leg, but usually right foot. But usually they do it like that. They really talk about the lesser of them, which would be the foot. But anyway, so when you understand this, right, we see Iran and Syria, that represents the ears nation. We see where it says the spirit and the book on the left and right side of Satan, that represents the hand of a nation, or the works. And on the bottom there, right, that represents, right, on the right side of it, on the bottom, that's the seal. On the left side, right, well, anyway, those two on the bottom represent the foot, or feet. Okay? So on the right side over there, right, it says there was a book, right, written within and without, and sealed down with 7 seals. See, and behind have been sealed down with 7 seals. Now, I'm not going to the writing, because that gives us chapter 2 and chapter 3, we'll talk about another time. But anyway, that's the book. 7 seals, and that's the book we're talking about. And we see in chapter 10, that's the book that they're talking about right there. So that's it. Now, it's in the hand of who? Satan, because Satan is the one that's ruling. He's the god of this world, the European world that we live in. This world we live in is a European world. They have defined it. They have controlled it. Right? They even named all the creatures English names. China's not what it calls itself. India's not what it calls itself. Those are Indian names. Those are English names. So anyway, that's the structure here. See, each one of these is a being and has 6 wings. Well, so for the same European country, got 6 wings also. Okay. So that means Satan is the one that has the book, and it's sealed down with 7 seals. So Satan is the one that has the book, not God. Because if God has the book, how can he? He says, no one in heavens or earth or under the earth, no one in heavens or earth or under earth could break those seals but him. So God is in one of those places, ain't he? See? So what it's talking about is Satan is the one that has that book. He can't understand it, but he got it. That's a sealed Bible. That's a sealed Bible. That's why it's sealed down with 7 seals. It's still sealed. That's the book. It's still sealed. At this time and place. And then it says that the Lamb, right, he went and took the book from the right, or from the right foot of it, right? He took the book, right? He took the book. See? Because no one in the heavens or earth or underneath the earth, because the European countries represent the earth. Only one could do it, all of this was him. See? That's what that means. Okay? And then talk about 24 elders. Okay, each being there, right, has 6 wings. So 6 times 4 is 24. Those are elders. Oh, Elijah said those are 24 scientists. Well, Elijah didn't know the angel. See? So he knew about 24 scientists. These are not the 24. These are 24 elders. Call them elders because the European country is not elder, because they grafted. So so that's the situation. So he goes and takes it. So then he's at the top, because when you see the angel key, the red is at the top in that situation. So he's at the top. That's why it says everybody fell on their faces. Okay. Okay, I'll pretty much leave it there, brothers and sisters. Okay. There's a lot more to talk about on this book. See? But there's the seals. He breaks the seals. And when we go further, you see he actually breaks the seals in 1990. That's the time I broke the seals, but that's what it said would happen in 1990. So we go further in Injil 2.1. You see that. That's what's happening, brothers and sisters. So I just want to talk about those few things right there. And get you some understanding of the book, because it wasn't from God. At least the sealed book, right? It was God from God, guidance to Adam and Eve. The unsealed book, right, is revealed by Suleiman, right, to put you on top of civilization. It's the purpose of it. Okay. So once you start uploading it, then you'll be a step further towards getting to the promised land. See? Because it speaks to your mind, speaks to your nature. But they're blocking it. They're blocking it with themselves, casting shadows that having people walk around in darkness, the darkness of their shadows. So hope you understand, brothers and sisters. I'll go back and see if I missed anything here. Okay, that's pretty much it, brothers and sisters. There's nothing else. Okay, that's pretty much it. Pretty much it, brothers and sisters. We'll be energized. So one of our major problems is to take and get the energy focused. So we have to get our people this knowledge, right? So they can focus the energy in something constructive for ourselves, our nation, rather than continue help Massa build his nation, build his vision, establish his vision, which is destructive for us. Because we cannot follow in that if we even wanted to. We cannot follow in that because what he's bringing to existence is totally contrary to our nature. Totally contrary. Hope you understand, brothers and sisters. It's all about energy. It's all about energy. So we're rising up. We come together as a nation. They're doing everything they can to stop that. See. Once false Israel was taken out, that's an instant individuality. That's a direct effect of false Israel being taken out because they're making claims to be us, identity theft. Once they no longer exist, that means we regain our identity, which is totally disastrous for the Europeans, especially America, because that idealistic view they had that they was doing everything God's will, they found they was going against God, and they're in the judgment right now. Judgment started in the beginning of 2020 with the plague. It's going to get worse. And it's not letting them say, oh, well, we got breakthroughs and all kind of stuff. I told you, they're not going away. And I expect it's going to be worse than it was before. More cases. And it's going to be worse. Okay. It's going to be much worse. But if they can deceive you into helping them establish their vision, that's going to be your destruction. Hope you understand, brothers and sisters. See, we're moving towards hereafter. We're bringing to existence. See, but you have to be strong enough to bring it to existence. That's the furnace of affliction. Now we paid the price. Now it makes it eligible to bring it to it. We have the strength to bring it to condition. See, that 460 wasn't wasted. It gave us strength. It gave us power. Now that we have enough power and strength, we can take back everything that was taken away from us. We've been tested in the furnace of affliction. Now we're solid, we're hard, pure gold. See, now we're in a position to take back everything. So you thought we were just wasting our time there. No, it's made us harder and stronger and powerful. So we survived all that.
So once we survive all that, how they, they can't touch you anymore. It's like, that's why they can't touch, that's why Orthodox Islam can't touch them. See? Because they eventually was created enough structure that was to neutralize that. Now they have no effect on them anymore. Because all the pressure, it was actually the pressure the Islamic Empire put on them, caused them to reorder themselves, to reconstruct themselves to a form where they didn't have any power anymore. And the same thing they did to us. They put so much structure and force on us, right, that more brought us into a new creation. We're on the edge of coming, of crystallizing into a diamond. We're a twinkle of an eye away from it. And why? Because of the pressure they put us on, the intense pressure some of you kind of like can't handle anymore. Some of you turn into vipers because you said, man, I can't wait anymore. It's too much. I can't deal with it. But those you stuck with it, you're about to be transformed, crystallized to a diamond in twinkle of an eye. But it was that pressure they put on us that gave us, that produced a Suleiman, that produced someone that could be powerful enough to, see? So what they was doing to us, they was making us stronger, making us more powerful, right? The ability to transform into a diamond, which is the hardest substance known to man. But we had to go through this to do it. Other nations didn't want to go through it, so now they wish they had. Because now we're going to be diamonds. No, they're not. See, we endure all that pressure that transforms us into diamonds. We're on the threshold of that transformation. Like I said, have a twinkle of an eye. Because we already fulfilled all the obligations, everything that requires that to happen. See? So we'd be too strong and too hard and too wise for them. That's what's happening now. See? So that's why we went through that 464 years. That's why Dr. Jabbar has been as strong as possible. So we can endure it and come out on the other end diamonds. The hardest substance known to man. See? Most powerful. That's what we went through, brothers, just to help you understand it. But some of you turned to dust along the way. Couldn't reorder yourself, so you started crumbling to dust. Became vipers and angry and mad. Then I'm gonna get this world's life because you couldn't handle the pressure that would take, right, to be transformed to a diamond. So you just went for what's got here, like Farrakhan and all those other clowns. So you're not gonna make it. But our people out there, they're diamonds waiting for that final transformation. After 50,000 years, right, finally, transformation is about to take place like the boiling water. It's about to hit that magic temperature of pressure. Then be transformed in a twinkle of an eye, which is about to happen because the pressure is increasing. Look at the pressure on America, been pressured on every side. The stress is becoming overwhelming. That pressure is going to cause them to crumble, going to crush them, but it's going to cause us to transform. It's caused us to transform already. The fact that you have Suleiman here giving you the Injil, already tell you, the process already started. You use that seed transformation, like in a diamond. First of all, you got the seed, you got one to transform, and it's like a seed, like sugar, that crystal, and that crystal causes all the rest of them to transform. But you have seed crystal, right, and like that match from Muhammad set in motion, right, that would be Suleiman with the Injil and that seed. Because once he's transformed, now he has the ability to transform. That's why he said he had the ability for those who listen to him to become sons and daughters of God. How can he be more than that? So he's that seed crystal that has the ability to turn everybody else into diamonds. That's what it's all about, brothers and sisters. So we're there now. Thank you for listening, brothers and sisters. You've done a good job. You worked on it. You stayed steadfast. Right now it's time to reach your reward. Forget about Farrakhan, all these clowns. They're lost. They have no reward. Like Nicodemus, demon, right? No, we don't want you. I don't care what you've been doing. Right? Because you're a demon. We don't want you. Don't worry about them, brothers and sisters. You're going home. Those you still walking around in the dark, these clowns casting their shadows and keep you lost in the dark. We're about to blow them away. The light's going to shine in every nook and cranny. See? It's going to be so bright, right? It will only be blinding bright. But our light will be totally triple dark for them. They're going to go insane because they're going to realize that false Israel ain't real. That we're true to Abraham. The whole perspective is going to flip overnight, right? See? But they're going to try to stop it. In midterm, they're going to try to stop midstream by getting rid of us. Because if that narrative take hold, that means they're devils, they're no good, wicked and everything. All the stuff they thought they was good at, they found that they was really worshiping Satan. And that God is not coming for them, it's coming to get them. Jesus is not coming for them, he's coming to get them, destroy them, throw them in hell, heaven, ever, and ever. See, that's mind-blowing, brothers and sisters. But I want to give you an early welcome home, brothers and sisters, because we're going home. Assalamu alaikum.